Mr. Secretary, I think you were crazy to have taken on this job. But at your confirmation hearing, you did promise that you would get DHS out of the headlines. We took you at your word, but nothing has really gotten better. Every single day, this agency is violating the Constitution and the law. This cannot continue. For Congress to approve of this budget, you must assure us that this Sherman's march of illegality ends. You must stop padding the pockets of immigration industry CEOs. You must rein in this out-of-control overspending. But as I stated at the outset, the worry is the opposite is about to happen. You are reportedly considering suspending international arrivals at airports in states represented by Democrats.
What's unconstitutional that we're doing? We swore to uphold the Constitution, just like you swore to uphold the Constitution. For you to throw my 275,000 employees underneath DHS and with a broad stroke like that is reckless and irresponsible on your part. We want to really talk about funding. You haven't funded my officers. CBP and ICE has been willing to do the job for free.
I think it's pretty fair to say that DHS under President Trump has been a debacle. From day one, we saw rampant abuse of power and corruption, from awarding millions in no-compete contracts to companies with direct family ties to DHS officials, to blatantly politicizing disaster relief. President Trump and Stephen Miller built up a paramilitary force and essentially promised it immunity and set it loose on some of our American communities. We all witnessed the consequences. A family heading home from a basketball game that was tear gassed, a priest in Chicago shot in the head and body with pepper balls, an American citizen dragged out of the house in the freezing cold in his underwear, Renee Good, Alex Preddy, others murdered in broad daylight. Those actions shock the conscience and have shocked the world, which is horrified by what has unfolded on American streets.
Yeah. Will you or will you not implement court orders?
If we didn't think courts were politicized, then I would probably be able to answer that. But we see courts over and over again that use their bench for their political opinion, not just the rule of law. And we can see that because we see how many times they're overturned.
I didn't say court orders you obey based upon whether you believe that
what I said
to be
political. Don't put words in my mouth.
What are you saying then?
What I'm saying is we'll enforce the law and we're never going to break the Constitution.
If you're a Republican or Democrat on this committee, you should be really, really freaked out.
We should be really concerned about the rulings that come out of the courts and how often they get overturned.
These letters allege that there has been spoiled food, delayed medical treatment, sewage backups, undue pressure to sign deportation paperwork. You know, if you're taking these claims seriously, these allegations seriously, and looking at them, or whether you've prejudged this to be, as you stated, about a demand for ethnic food. These seem pretty serious, and it seems like you would want to investigate.
So, since the history of that facility being open, not one single health violation has been written.
What happened in Delaney Hall?
Well, a lot of claims were made, and they just absolutely weren't true. The first one came out and said it was overcrowded. We have today, I believe, under 700 detainees there. It's licensed for just over 1,000 beds. We have twice the square footage at Delaney Hall than the state penitentiary does in New Jersey. They said that the medical condition was horrible. We have twice as much medical staff per person than the state penitentiary does in New Jersey.
What happened with the protesters?
Well, the protesters is interesting. The governor and the state officials were going out and saying that they were peaceful protesters and ICE was agitating them. That all changed when the governor finally allowed the state police to do their job. When they came in, they quickly realized these aren't peaceful protesters. These are rioters.
This is part of a pattern we've seen, because I do want to turn to the case of Alex Preddy. And in that case, Secretary Noem said that he was engaged in an act of domestic terrorism. She said that it looked like Alex Preddy intended to, quote, inflict maximum damage and to kill law enforcement, unquote. That wasn't true either, was it?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the
statement. That wasn't a true statement either.
Of her statement?
Yeah.
I can't speak on her behalf, but it's not what I recall seeing.
I want to know if you're going to be willing to provide state investigators access to evidence they have requested in their ongoing investigations into the killings of Alex Preddy and Renee Good.
Sir, as you know, the FBI is set up to do the investigation on federal law officers, and we investigate it from the federal side as a federal action, not a state action.
I'm also very concerned that in 2 weeks' time, we're going to have millions of people coming to see one of the greatest sporting events in history. How are we going to protect our homeland?
The shutdown has hindered our preparedness, but we are going to be prepared. And we're working every single day on it. We're locking down stadiums with sweeps. We're pushing out perimeters. We're killing choke points, creating traffic control. We're working with the states. And every city, I'll tell you, every city we're working in, they have cooperated with us, even in sanctuary cities, because I think all of us want to highlight the greatness of the United States during this World Cup. We have 78 Super Bowls in 38 days, and hopefully we pull it off with complete safety.
The committee stands adjourned.